Alright, so we've got the basic run. This is the script that the compositor is going to get at the end of the day. They have the import, and they have the run me right here. The actual script is right here. This is the run me. As you can see, it's got a program function right here. No layer basic. This is my functionality right here through an if-else statement to make sure that there's a list. We are grabbing the list through layer names. Len function actually gives me a numerical value based on the number of items in layer, and we're saying if it is equal to 0. Remember, in programming, it's a double equal means equal. This is in the book you get from Full Sail. It's pretty early on in chapters. Nuke.message creates the actual pop-up, and here's the text. You can change it however you want. Make sure it's in quotes. Text has to be in quotes. If it's just a variable, like here it is, there's no quotes. So you have the basic run me that actually grabs, here's the group name. This is used later on in the script, this information. Shuffle node grabs the actual information from the shuffle. It throws it to the function list creator. So now you have our layer names, which is our actual list of layers from the EXR node. If you want to get technical, they are called channels. So we go in here. You see this is labeled channels. The reason it's not layers is because Nuke defines layers as diffused red, diffused green, diffused blue, diffused alpha. That is a layer to Nuke. So if we created this, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times the 3 nodes, saturation, grade, and merge, times the list. Bunch of nodes we do not need. And the compositor is more than willing to and able to go through this and modify it as they see fit. The actual nodes in here, again, are not modified by me in any way. And see, this is a natural idea of the node. You have a mask function you can put in here. You can add, subtract, you can put anything in here. This group folder is like a file folder from a filing cabinet. The compositor can do anything they want in here. There's no locks, there's no hidden attributes. This isn't like rigging a character where you physically hide and make stuff non-selectable. None of that has happened. Alright, so we go back here. I'll walk you down it. So group name is what we're going to call the actual group. Node is here. The reason it has an alphanumerical 1 on it is because, as you see, when we make multiple ones of them, 1, 3, now it's basic, so we're going to get another basic. When Nuke creates another group, you are grabbing, upon creation, the actual numerical value of the name. I'll show it to you later. So, thus, you aren't grabbing an alias. Comp Shader Basic 4 is an alias. This is not what's going to be shown on the group creation's birth certificate, so to speak. Which is why the script has a 1 on it right here. Nuke physically goes in there and changes it by itself. You've done nothing. It does it on itself. So this is why it's 3 and it's 4. And if I ran this again, it would be Comp Shader Basic 5. You don't have to worry about this. Shuffle node actually grabs the shuffle node information. That's all it does. Then it throws it to list creator. As you can see, it uses the information from shuffle node to use it. This is basic for functions right now. I have function name, and when I run it, I make it into a variable. See the equal sign right here? So this is run, and through the computer, whatever information is made or variables inside the function are now labeled this, and I can use this as information for another function. This is clean code book, doctrination, theory, way of life. Each one of these functions does a very simple task. Anything else is kicked upstairs. This is like working environments. Hi, I'm the lowly person that sweeps the floor. The person above me, my supervisor, knows where I'm sweeping the floor. If I'm running where machines are running, my supervisor hopefully is going to tell me not to sweep the floor. This is the type of theory it's running this program. So we're going to go down again. Name of group. Here's the creation of group. And this right here is how I'm actually grabbing the full name of the actual group. The memory address, not the aliases. This is how I'm grabbing it. So this is my creation group. Go down here. Pretty self-explanatory. It's grabbing it's making a node that supposedly does not exist in the comp script. I figure with omega being a Greek letter, that gives me a good chance of it not being there. But if they do like omega, beta, and gamma, I've got triple Z, then a 1. Anything to make it so it doesn't actually exist. So I go ahead and I create a saturation node, nuke.nodes.saturation. I name it, and I hook it up. And it's hooked up to the current shuffle node. Again, clean code. You don't have to do text or notes, so to speak. The ultimate goal, if you got it down, or if you don't need to, is to make it so the variables are the notes. You still have to do notes, and these notes are in here for the compositor if he wants to go back in here and modify any and everything. So right now we have to select it, and then we have to unselect the shuffle node. Nuke is a visual program, and it's a Python code. You have to tell it to select something if you want to do something with that. You don't go and call its name. You don't send a gopher like you do in Python and Maya. Go get this name. Okay, you have this name. What do you want to do with it? You have to then select it to shuffle. Making a group node is like a special person in Nuke. If you just wanted to grab the blur node or the shuffle node and do what you want to it, it would be fine. But the group node is a very special person. Whatever you want to do. Shiny bottom, special hat, whatever. You have to do extra stuff. The extra stuff is selecting the node you just created, this guy right here, and deselecting the shuffle node. Then you're going to call it to create a group. Then I'm going to call the group be a name. Again, as you can see, group 1, in case it's there. Now, another thing. You notice when this creates stuff, back over here, you're in the script here. You go ahead and run it. It slams you back to the properties. It opens up the folder. Something that would be very annoying as a programmer to keep going through, but because Nuke is a visual language, if you do not make this splash over, if you do not make it have this up, this is inside the folder. This happens naturally upon creation. If I set this to false, it would not do that. You cannot actually do anything inside here. Literally. I have a function to move this and to actually reattach the last merge node to it. You cannot run those functions. I want to modify something in here. Nuke goes, you didn't make anything. There's nothing here. I see nothing. Literally, I see nothing. So you have to keep that in mind with Nuke script. Alright, going down here, you've got creation. Again, it returns comp group. Comp group was the name of the creation of the group. This gets me the memory address. Now, when you have the memory address, that's fine. When you do other things in Nuke, sometimes it needs the memory address, which is right here. Full name is to get me an actual physical name. The alphanumeric character is not recognized as a name. This flag on this variable says, I just want your name in text. That's one variable. Some of these other functions don't want just the function. You give it a name, it looks at you funny. So I've got to go to Nuke. To Nuke is a selection-based flag. So I've got two variables that have two different versions of the name. Node XY position, this is how I tell it to be right below. That's what's creating it to pop up immediately below it, 10 spaces. I also use this later on to have these be 2 units below each other. As you can see, node XY, name of the last node. So what are you measuring? What's the origin? What's my motivation, so to speak? And then you have the name of the current node. Okay, well, I know where origin is. Now I'm creating the next one. What's the next one? So you tell it right here and do the count number. This is how many units you want them to be separated. This is currently set up to only modify the Y position. I have both the X and the Y here, but I'm only modifying the Y by the count number. And the count number is in the variables. So right here you see is 50. That's how many units it's moving it physically down here. It's 50 units in a congregation. Alright, next I select the group. When you're modifying things inside the group, you have to do the group.begin, do anything you want. All this mess happens inside the group. Then you got to tell it to end. But you have to define the group. So I go over here to nuke, I press I, which gives me information about the object. Right now, the group is called Comp Shader Basic 4. Now, to reiterate that, I go over here to Shuffle. I can choose to update it. Doesn't always work, as you can see. I just press I again. Gives me data. We're looking for the name, the computer name. If you create a blur node and you try to select it by selecting blur and it doesn't work, that's because Nuke has put a 1 on it. You didn't know about it. This will show you. So again, we go in here, we select the node, press I, and you can see it's comp shader, so this is the group dot, so right here, comp shader. It's the name of the group dot name of the node. That is what this is, the group. You're defining the first part right here. And right here, it's, again, all this gobbledygook is told to create inside the node. If you don't have the group to begin, the group to end, it will create all your nodes right here. It doesn't matter if you have it on or selected. Again, the group node is a little special. So this is how we actually get stuff to create in here.